we're supposed to talk about. So whenever the new FS game comes out, what do you want to see? Because I made a list of things I want to see added, and I don't know if they'll ever actually add them. But it's like this would be kind of cool if they added this. Let
Go over
me.
your list first, because it might be the same thing, but also could be very different.
It's probably very different because of just the kind of stuff I'm into. Documents, please. Thank you. Crash. What? What the
This
hell?
live stream's probably gone on for like what, 4 hours by now? Two
No,
and a
no,
half.
no. We're only at an hour 30. We're doing great actually. Where? Oh, I was in files instead of notes. Okay, so I said I want to see peanuts.
What?
Why not?
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. We're thinking completely different things.
Well, yeah. So I was like, why? I want to see. We can farm potatoes. We can farm freaking sugarcane. Why can't I farm peanuts? I want to be Jimmy Carter. Why not?
Explore it.
I then
Then
I
explore it.
I said rye because I mean we've got wheat, barley, oats. Where's
Well, if
rye?
you get that's one thing that they've already sort of incorporated. I would like to see alfalfa be an
But
in-game base game
that's at the very bottom. That's in there.
factor.
I put alfalfa on there because I thought it already was in the game. It's not. And then I put seed corn because wouldn't it be interesting if you could do a whole your own like seed operation?
Yeah, like the Deculb and all those guys, Pioneer.
Wouldn't that'd be really cool? Like you get the big machine out there to go and cut the tassels. That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool, and that'd work great in seasons.
Yes, seasons needs to be a standard thing,
Yeah,
as well
that
as
should be a
units
switch.
for conversion. Conversion units and seasons need to be base games. Here's another one for you. Used equipment market. I'm talking this thing is rusted out piece of junk, has 9,000 hours on it, and it could be three-quarters of the price. It could be a 2012 John Deere combine, and it costs $20,000
Oh my
because
god.
it's used.
That's like that base little combine you can get that you got on the platinum edition of 2017. This is a piece of junk. It barely
Yeah.
ran, but that thing was new apparently. Anyways, baling corn stalks and bean stubble for that matter. We do it in real life.
Somebody actually made that happen.
What?
Somebody actually made that happen. That is a possibility.
That yeah. I'm like, why is that not a thing? I go like, oh, I want to bale corn stalks, and it's like, nope. I'm like, what do you mean I can't bale corn stalks? What is this bull crap? Baling
Yeah.
corn stalks, further diversification in non-standard harvesters. Like, there's only two freaking cotton harvesters, and the one you have to get in the DLC, and you can't compare them because the one's the John Deere one, which is round bales, which actually, personally, I liked the Case IH, but because of this non-stop baling action you get with the round baler one, and it's got more horsepower, it's it's a better cotton harvester.
Boy, when 19 first came out, the amount of people that would post in the chats with the case cotton harvester, they go, just hauling the marshmallows to the s'more stand. They look like giant s'more marshmallows.
Oh yeah, they do. And then at least the John Deere ones are like wrapped in yellow, and so like
Yeah,
they're
the
cotton.
case ones just straight look like s'more marshmallows.
Um, Nitrogen. Like I was watching my neighbor.
And Hydrus.
He was putting in hydrous. I couldn't spell anhydrous, so I wrote nitrogen. But where is it? They added herbicide, which I thought they would never add herbicide because I knew they were European. I figured no way Europe would ever add herbicide in liquid fertilizer. Well, actually, no, just herbicide. But they did, and I was like, whoa! I wasn't expecting that.
Again, they're getting more and more and more and more into that aspect. To get the actual anhydrous tank would not be an issue because you can make a lizard anhydrous tank anywhere, any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
It's literally just a sphere with two wheels and an axle going down the middle
Yep.
with a little hitch in the front. The toolbar would be a little bit more of a controversy because they don't have any branding for that besides their own lizard. Case though does make one, so they could have a case Anhydrous DLC or something with that matter, and then make a lizard one that's just bigger. So that is a possibility. That's a good one. I
But
didn't think
although
about
with
Anhydrous.
John Deere now, I wonder if they won't be able to get Ford because doesn't Ford make like the majority of the anhydrous applicators, or do they make the old
Oh,
ones?
it was like B&B tools.
Oh, maybe it is P&B. I don't know. I guess I never noticed because Ford was always blue, so I see the blue one. I'm like, oh, it's Ford.
No, that's the BB ones.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know this. They actually make cable reel trailers as well. We had some of them stop by at work the other day.
And then and irrigation, center pivots.
I want to see Vermeer.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get it from your baler. This is bull crap.
Vermeer makes balers. They make rakes. They make mowers. They
They make swatters.
What?
They make swatters.
They make wood chippers.
Where is Vermeer?
What?
Like you said, where's Vermeer? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, where's Vermeer?
Vermeer. It's another company that's harder to get a hold of. But by that I mean their marketing director is kind of the not so friendly type I've heard.
Ah, well, maybe we'll just start
But
working for Vermeer.
also works very good person, but just it's hard. They're harder to work with.
So what do you? That's the kind of stuff I just thought of when I was at work that I want to see added. I mean, I'd love to see more crops. I mean, I love the diversification we have. I want more. Like there's more crops that I can think of that I'd like to be able to produce, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also they need to improve their helper AI. Like, come on. Like
Not as complicated as Courseplay, which is a pain in the arse to set up, but it does need to be something that is better than helper A is blocked by an object. No duh, because you're driving in the middle of a road and got hit by a car.
the helper AI, it baffles me. Like I have there's this field I bought, and I guess you'll watch it in my Let's Play. The helper won't follow a diagonal line. They only go in straight lines in accordance with the map, so only perpendicular and only like north and south,
actually
east and west.
false.
Well, at least on this field, I couldn't get them to go on a diagonal line. They would only go straight, and so it would fill out like only half the field, and I'd have to go and do the rest myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
And
I hired you for a reason.
And what we also got to think now, FS19 is the very beginning of what I feel is going to make the game a whole lot better. And with the office in Chicago, it could possibly get even a lot better on our side. Is FS was designed around rectangular fields. It's meant to have a combine go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Did I mention they go back and forth?
No.
Yes. No, totally not. I missed all the points. But that's what they were done. And until 19, like mod creators started making maps since even 13, they started making the fields rounded, more American or more European, whatever to that nation was. And the AI just had nothing to do because the game's creators literally made fields in their in-game things to be literally perfect squares, and there was nothing around them so they could turn around.
Even in all their fields, most of them are perfect squares, but they're not. But they still don't follow them.
They're
I
not
still have,
flat.
yeah, I still have to go and like do crap. It's
Yeah.
irritating.
And that's just one thing that always kind of pet peeved me as well was the helpers. But again, once you start getting into more, if it's multiplayer makes the game a lot more fun on the aspect of just helping around because then you can have multiple people doing different things.
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than just The other one though that I feel that would make it better is the maps for European maps are 99% of the time just beautiful. The landscaping, the detail, the functionality of what you can do, they're endless. They're beautiful. And then you go to the American market. Every single map is either flat and huge, or it might be hilly, but everything is just, it don't work, or it's just, again, fields are square. There are only a handful of American maps that can claim the title of this actually feels American. Upper Mississippi River Valley was one of them. Lone Oaks is the pinnacle. of American maps, and then there's a handful of other ones that are around that market.
But I mean, to be fair, Europeans do see America as just big, flat, and square. And
it is. But
to be
they
fair,
also don't live here in the parts where, like Nebraska, Iowa. We have what we like to call hills and roundedness. We have terraces.
oh,
But
we've
no
got the gods of all terraces. I hate terraces. We've got terraces, Buck.
We don't have. No one makes them unless they're from the U.S. And with the offices built in Chicago, that's a big step in the right direction. We're looking for people that can technically inspect the Midwest to know what the heck they're doing. Ravenport was actually designed off of California. When's the last time you saw a corn harvester going in California besides on the side closer to Nevada? They're going off of like lakefront property where it's a small town south of San Francisco.
I was like, why is this map so all the areas they picture are just junk. I'm like, this is Ravenport, and it's so run down compared to the European ones, and I'm like, is this what they see America as? Run down? Like
the best American map to ever be like a vanilla map. The only issue with it was the square fields was Westbridge Hills. It had that feeling of American style of the hills. The size of the fields were good. It had a town with a flipping baseball diamond. It was just it felt right.
That's American right there. Baseballs, right, Kyle?
Sure.
What do you mean? How is baseball not American? Communist.
Yeah.
What? All right.
What?
What? Buck's gonna throw you out the window. He's gonna whatever the word that was that Phil was showing us.
Das Vidanya.
That's not what Das Vidanya. That's not Das Vidanya.
Do you know what Das Vidanya means?
I know the word. I used to say it as a child, but I don't.
It's Russian.
What does it mean?
It means goodbye.
Yeah, I used to say it as a child. Child me knew all the foreign languages.
I would have loved.
He was Mr. Worldwide. I tell you what.
I want to learn Czech, Russian, and Norwegian.
We can cut your tongue off for all those, and you'll be able to speak them better. It's true. To speak Slavic languages, 50 tongue gets cut off. Poor Buck's over. He's like, what is going on over there?
I can help you out with that.
Oh my god. Is that a lightsaber?
Turned back on.
I was like, is that a lightsaber?
Is that a lightsaber?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. All right. This podcast is. Oh boy.
Is your camera still on?
I think it's gonna turn mine. I don't know. I've never
GoPro?
tried it. Oh,
The thing about this
GoPro's
one
still
though
running.
is that when I got it, it came with two of them, and it also came with a connector in the middle, so I can have it as a staff saber.
All right, Darth Maul.
Do it.
What Jedi do you have?
Yeah.
What lightsaber? What lightsaber is it?
It's just it's actually a multicolor one.
Oh, is it the multi one? Okay, I know which one.
It's
it's
a
the
multicolor
Disney
one,
one.
but I
It's-
specifically got it
it's the
because you
junk
can make
plastic
staff
one that you,
saber,
like,
and Maul
interchange.
is
Yeah, I know.
my
Yeah.
he
I
is
really want to
the
go to
pinnacle.
the Savi's Workshop ones. Those ones are awesome.
So right. So FS19. So I guess what do you want to see? You said you wanted to see Vermeer. What else did you want to see?
I want to see, like I said,
The American
better
map.
American style maps. I would also like to see the used equipment market. If you haven't heard of it, FSN, Farming Simulator Network. The ideology behind it is that it incorporates money, loans, bank interests, registering of vehicles. You can only start with a certain amount of things. All the mods that are incorporated into the server, like it would have to be, if you're going to start this one up, you have to have all this servers again, but it would all be incorporated into the server. You start with a certain amount of money. You auction off the land. You can auction equipment. You can sell your equipment to other farmers on other markets. It's an entire like real world style. And our group did it for about a month and a half, and then we just opted out because we couldn't get as much content out on it because it restricted us so much. Even though we had
It was too
even though we
realistic.
had connections to the creator of it, we physically just couldn't work around some of the rules because of just.
It was too real.
It technically was to a point. I would have technically been fine with it because I would have loved the budgeting aspect of it.
Mm.
It was so real on the matter of, okay, we have $200,000. If we want to buy this property for 60,000, which implements do we actually start with? Because we had the budget. Actually, I have to take that back. Because we were content creators, we were given like a $500,000 budget.
Oh wow.
And we bought a property. And this was the best part. We had a property picked out. This was on Medicine Creek, if you've heard of that map yet. And we had a property picked out from the top left map. We had everything going for it. We were talking plans. And this was in a Discord call for the auction. We missed the auction, and the buddy of ours who was going to be working with us,
Oh no!
as our teammates, he bought the property right in front of us. We're like, you piece of garbage.
Wow.
So then we went back to the bottom half of the map, and we got a property that was a little bit more expensive, but we also got a lot more land to work with. And then we also were able to do tillage and whatnot, and we had to get permits to build things, and it was beautiful. It was so real. But then my buddy, or my partner, he's just like, we need to get deer, and deer. We need to get more deer, and then we need to get this. And I'm like, dude, think it through. You see this beautiful little thing we like to call a Massey Ferguson, and how it's like $40,000 cheaper? Yeah, get that. The viewers aren't gonna like it. Screw the viewers, dude. Sometimes you need to go real. You last longer.
Well, that's like me. I'm like, everybody's gonna call me a case lover, and I do like case, but it's like, they're the cheap ones. I'm going with the case.
Yeah. And you're getting technically the exact same thing, just the paint color's different.
Yeah.
In reality.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun, and I love it. I would get back into it, but my content, it would just differ too much from it. Like, I don't know. I need to get back in the chat with Hans, though.
One last thing, before we leave. Because the GoPro's probably going to die soon. What I want to see is, Flight Sim 19?
Yes.
Where's farming sim like that? The whole world. I mean, maybe not the whole world, but we get the United States and then Europe.
Technically, you could do that with American Trucking Sim. What they do is the map in general is absolutely massive, but one thing that it helps with that is that they have the map expansions where you can get Utah and Oregon and all that stuff, but the clip distance is what helps them on that. It's not like GTA where you can go anywhere you want, which is what they'd have to work around, but it gives the scale because once they drive past a truck stop, once you get maybe 20 seconds away from that truck stop on the highway, it goes out of your computer. It'd be like RAM. Memory goes in, memory goes out. You're not loading the whole map at one point.
Right.
So it would be decent for computers. So I actually can see what you're going there. The problem with that is then you're going to get people that want different maps. They're going to be like, I want one of my area that's more accurate. Well, okay.
Yep, that would be difficult. But maybe the mining community could come together with Giant and do it. I mean, the mining community, that's definitely something they could do. They can make their own areas. Giants.
That's what 98% of American maps that are actually decent are. The only one that's not really based off of an area, it is, but not a specific one, is Upper Mississippi River Valley. That one's supposed to border Iowa and Wisconsin by the Missouri River, or whatever river that is. And that one's but Medicine Creek, that one's based in
Medicine Creek,
I can't remember where that one's at.
No, where's Medicine Creek? Medicine Creek's with you. Medicine Creek. Where's Medicine Creek? It was a big massacre battle for Native Americans. I know Medicine Creek. It was I remember watching the Indian Wars.
Georgetown, that's another American map. That one's based in New York. Westby, Wisconsin, obviously out of Wisconsin.
That's from Madison.
Actually, I take that back. There is another
Medicine.
map that is not. It's a really great American map, but it's been known now as the Iowa map because of ours, and that's County Line. County Line's another really good example of an American map where fields aren't too big. They have two small towns, one of which actually has a baseball diamond and a football field.
Oh, wow.
A high school football field, has a church, all this stuff in there, just small town stuff. Wells Fargo, an entire thing on there. It was just gorgeous. And that's what we started our roleplay stuff on. It had TSC, a Ford dealership. Beautiful. It was literally the icon of American Maps for like roleplay stuff.
America. What a good time.
I've done a couple videos on that map buying vehicles. I also did my original Platte Valley dealership on those maps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What a America. I always thought about that. I'm like, isn't Americans the ones that are buying these games in the first place? Not as much as Europeans? Or am I still wrong?
Europe is actually a very heavy simulation style of area. That's why Euro Truck Simulator, that was like one of the first kind of games to boom on this. Farming Sim never really took off because, again, they sold it to the American market, but it was portrayed more in the European style, which is why they had brands like 13 was all Deutschfahr. And then literally and then they had a couple cases, and they had some lizards, and they had like 2-3 cases.
Right.
But then FS15 came around, and it was strictly New Holland. New Holland got into the game heavy. They just dominated the market. And then 17 came out, and it was kind of a toss-up. There wasn't really a dedicated brand.
No, there definitely wasn't.
17... Which one?
No, they definitely weren't. They weren't. There's nothing dedicated at all.
There might have been, but it was kind of a split power between Case and New Holland. They kind of all worked together, and then the Europeans kind of came back. But 19, straight deer. It was all on deer. When it came in, like there's not a whole big portion of deer in the game, but it was definitely the favored brand and the trademark, in other words, of that version.
Oh yeah, I mean the original trailer. I remember watching the original trailer. How excited I got. The tractor they show is a deer, and everybody got super excited.
Oh yeah.
Like, not to mention there was a dog there, which was already a big thing. Everybody ignored it. Like, what's the tractor they're gonna show? It's like gonna be a deer. It's gonna be a deer. And it was a deer.
When I saw the yellow rims, I about freaked. Because I could tell that it was green paint at first when they raised up the thing, but the second I saw yellow rims, I'm like, no way. I remember I was sitting in a computer apps class, and the rule in that class is that you can't have your tabs open on anything else. You had to be on whatever the heck we were on. Well,
I always had music
here's the
open.
thing. They never said anything about saving it to your bookmark, so every day before class started, I would check Giant Sight to see what else they'd add from deer. They'd put in, like, the 1 tractor. They put in the 8R. And I saw they put in the 7R. And then they put in the 6R. And then they put in, there comes the Combine. No way. It was just beautiful.
Oh, man. And then the cotton. They had the cotton. And
the sugar cane, I actually saw where they got that model from. It's from a model site called GrabCAD. It was a free model, and they just stuck Case logos.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, nobody really likes the self-driving sugarcane thing. It doesn't work with like half the trailers you get to use, and so it's like sugarcane's really annoying. And I'm like,
have you ever actually seen? This is where Vermeer comes into play. Have you seen Vermeer's self-driving mailer?
No.
This thing is a monster.
Tell you what,
it is absolutely amazing.
Tell you what, let's show me after the podcast. The GoPro's gonna die.
I'm just gonna send you a picture of it.
All right. Anything you want to shout out? Any plans?
I would have to say I would like to, in other words, give my buddy here, Mr. Dr. Sheep, as well as Kyle, shout out. Beautiful to that. I'd like to give all my family, friends, and supporters a shout out. All my friends that I work with, and life just going, I don't know at this point. Everybody just do fine. Everyone gets a shout out.
Well, thanks, Buck. Thanks for coming on. This was probably one of the more fun ones, I would say.
Yes.
I really liked this one.
Definitely.
More civil.
It was.
Is it like the Phil one? Have you watched the one where I get in a fight with Phil?
No, but I remember the last time we tried doing this, we ended up starting to talk about like bars and all that stuff, and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We were talking about how you were gonna go to donate at the. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
That's the last time I talked to you.
Yep, that was an idea. That idea died. Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out Buck's channel. To be honest, you're all from him anyways, so good night.